Hello everybody, it's vanburman here and welcome to my new video game series. Of course, most of my games are pretty much video game series. Anyway, as most of you will know, I have been working a lot on Kickstarter and my game project is up on there, so if you do want to go and check it out, feel free. My new series is actually to do with Kickstarter because I do feel as though it's a really great platform for many games to get off the ground and great ideas to be spawned from it as well. But unfortunately, sometimes, because I do spend a lot of time looking on it, we do come up with some dubious projects. Dubious for many reasons. And I've got two examples today. This will probably be an irregular series that I'll do, and I'll also do some videos on, the good projects and why they're good. But we're going to do bad projects and why they're bad. And try not to make fun of them too much. What am I kidding? I normally try to stay away from controversial videos, but it seemed like a bit of fun to do. So, right, we're going to start off with one of the games that we have here. It's Menist Gamma. Basically, this guy, his first project that he's made, he's also not connected his Facebook to Kickstarter, which is a sign. He's asked for £1,000 and I believe he started the project, he must have started it a couple of weeks ago, but oh no, he didn't, sorry, he started it yesterday, that's right. And he wants £1,000, so $1,500, to make a video series where he targets video games that are sexist against men. It is obviously a joke Kickstarter. The money he wants to use to buy a professional microphone, a camcorder, and games and advertising. Now, it's a load of rubbish, really, let's face it. I mean, you don't need £1,000 to make a video game series. You don't need a professional microphone. You don't need a professional camcorder. Games to review, you just need footage from the games. Just speak to someone that has the game footage that you want or can have access to it, and borrow the clips. This could be done for nothing, quite frankly. And something else which is a total joke is he's got here pledge £1 or more, so that's the minimum. People are obviously going to want to pledge more than this, but if you were into it, obviously. But yeah, everyone that backs will be read out in the first video, even if it takes him hours. Goodness me. It's just, I mean, obviously it is a joke, but yeah, people may think it is serious and rage against the machine. So yeah, basically it's just a joke Kickstarter project. Well, yes, it's funny and stupid as well. I love how he's left the line there in between the guy's legs. Don't know if that's on purpose. But oh dear, actually there's a comment. Let's read the comment. Best of luck. Yeah, see, he's even got support from someone, but yeah, no money as of yet. It won't get funded, of course, but it sort of makes a mockery a bit of Kickstarter. I mean, it is such a useful program for people, and while it is funny and pathetic, it unfortunately, takes away from maybe perhaps other people's projects. So that is why he's going to be the first one in this series to be looked at. I might stay away from obvious joke ones such as that in the future, but I don't know. Now this one is controversial, but we will go into it. Now these are all newly put up games, and so there might be changes made to it from when I've done this video to when they will actually be put up. But we've got BitDefence, an indie project. So barring what's on this side for the moment, it seems like a fairly interesting idea. They want to make a indie game which is stealth action puzzle game. They're going to, they've developed somewhat of a story behind it. Not particularly, good one. It's obviously, they want to make it a pixel art game, obviously, and the enemies are going to look like this. So what screenshots do we have of the game? because that's obviously quite important with an indie game. Well, this is what the game will apparently look like. And if you think about it, you know, for how they've described it, you would expect the game to look something like this. And not that it's going to be an easy project, but it should be something that, you know, you may not need a huge amount of money for, but purely just the hours. So other rewards, but we'll look at that later. And yeah, well, okay, basically they've lied about this, although it's not strictly true, but not strictly a lie either. 5% is Kickstarter and 5% is 4 to 5% is to transfer the money, so it's a little less than a full 10%, but yeah, not really putting them up on that too much. These are, yeah, basically they want 15% of this money to buy themselves food and other things to do with the game, not direct investment into the game, sort of a subsidiary investment. And now we get on to developers. Now from this, all I've garnered is that they're both teenagers and both too young to actually make a Kickstarter project themselves, and they've had to have the lead designer's father to do the Kickstarter for them. Not a bad thing, but when we come to the bits later, it makes all of this totally ludicrous. Okay, totally ludicrous. The game doesn't look that bad, and quite frankly, with Kickstarter, you have to set a goal, a minimum goal that is reachable if you want to do it. If you want to actually get your project funded, which is something I've learnt. So we'll watch through their really long video on the Kickstarter, 25 seconds long, and yeah, let's see if this game's any good. Well, I have to say, quite frankly, I don't see anything wrong with that. It seems like a bit of Pac-Man in there, I guess, in a sense. But no, it seems like a game that could work and function quite well. So, you know, I don't have a problem with the project itself and the idea of the project. I mean, it's not something I would play. It's not something I think gamers would play. But I'm sure there's some people out there that would play it. I mean, if I was given it for free, I'd probably do a review. But aside from that, I'm not really too sure. So we do have to come on to the meat of why this game is in this section of poor Kickstarter projects. And okay, so the first thing is they want $25,000. I don't know how Australian dollars converts into UK. I only know roughly about American dollars, but you know, let me do a quick conversion on here. So it's divide by 3 and times by 2. Yep, so it's around, let's just say it's £1,600, just to make it easier. So £1,600 for us in the UK, and they wanted 15% for necessities, apparently. 240 quid. Yeah, for 2 people, I don't know. I guess if that was going on your food and drinks while you're actually working on the project, maybe, but you know, that's not in the vein of what Kickstarter's for, I don't believe. Now, this project has got a very high goal target to hit, and the thing is, it doesn't need $25,000. It does not. It needs a couple of hundred, I would say, to get this off the ground. What they've got at the minute is a very good concept of what it will look like, and something that they could do if they're willing to put the time and effort in, rather than just thinking about the money, which is what it seems like. And this is one of the problems with people making Kickstarter projects in this vein. I made the mistake the first time. I set my goal too high, but you know, you come back, you make these mistakes. I haven't made the mistake as highly as these guys have done, because 25,000 Australian dollars is a heck of a lot of money for something like this. So we'll have a look at the rewards, which I always like looking at because they're fun. So $1 is acknowledgement on the website, thank you message, basic stuff. $10 is a digital copy of the game for PC or possibly Mac. I'm not sure they should be putting things like that in it. Possibly Mac. It's either you're going to do it for Mac or you're not going to do it for Mac. An exclusive backer-only wallpaper. Backer forum access on the new website once it's launched. Funding from this project assists the creation of the site. And yeah, everything above. $20 will get you the ability to play in the beta. So for basically 2 copies of the game, you can play in the beta. Right, fair enough. For $40 you get the deluxe edition, which includes a soundtrack. They haven't said anything about money towards soundtrack. It just says development. Right, okay, fine. And everything above as well. Not additional copies of the game though, only 1 copy per backer, even if you pledge $40. For $80 you get a physical collector's edition. Specific mention in the credits and everything above. They've not said what's in the physical edition, but yeah, probably just a DVD case with the CD, with a burnt CD on. And for $100 or more you get to hide a face or message in the game as an Easter egg, plus a limited edition t-shirt and everything in the above. And only 1 copy per backer. So they've limited it to 50 people, so there could be 50 hidden faces or messages in the game, which I presume is probably not going to be a very long game, and if it is, they'll all be very samey levels. So I know they're trying to vary the enemies, but really there's only so much you can do with, you know, this sort of game, I would have said. So finally we have to look at the risks and challenges. This is always a very easy thing. The main risk that we're presented with is getting people to believe us. Well, I believe that you've got a good concept, and I believe what you've got so far is good. I just don't believe the rest of it. Out of our juvenile hands. Not really good to be using the word juvenile when you're both teenagers, eh guys? They spent 6 months already working on it to what they've got now. Having said that, it looks what I would imagine the finished project being. The massive story experience. In a game like this, can there really be a huge story? I would have thought that a more basic one and having more fun gameplay would be the general push for this one. They want to have replayability as well, so maybe just different difficulty levels, I guess. This is where they speak about the goal. It's an honest assessment of what we need to make it. Money to upgrade hardware, pay for necessities, and pay for publishing and licensing fees. Oh. Well, yeah, to publish it, depends on what site will take you, I guess. And licensing fees, depends on which you're licensing, I guess. You know, you can do it on the cheap. It can be done on the cheap. It doesn't have to be $25,000 worth. And they're just basically saying that if they go over $25,000, they're going to add stretch goals. So, all in all, 2 interesting projects there. And ones which, I don't know, the first one shouldn't be on Kickstarter, for a start. But the second one, while it looks nice, it's obviously done fairly well. And even though they're teenagers, which normally would, well, I wouldn't back it because it's teenagers. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. You know, if there's something they want to do, then they're going to have to do it in their spare time, and then push to get it published on somewhere rather than coming to Kickstarter. But, you know, all in all, I think that project could have potential if they're willing to rethink some of their goals towards the game and whether they actually need that amount of money or not. I don't see it myself, but maybe I'm wrong on that in that sense. I don't know. Anyway, that's all. I hope that you've found this vaguely entertaining. I'll try and make them a bit shorter for next time. But it is 2 projects in one, and the second project had a lot to it, and it was a bit more of had to really explain why it's not a good project. It's not totally outright, you know, terrible, but it's unfortunate that it's not going to get backed at all, in fact. But it is nice to see that they've got someone who's backed them for $100 Australian already, so there'll be possibly someone's face in the game as a subliminal messaging. I think they're open to people using advertisements in the game for that, because they've not set any limitations on it. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you do like it, send me give me a like rating, and if there are any projects that you've seen which would make for interesting viewing, then leave them in the comments and I will be sure to look at them. I'm mainly looking at video gaming ones, but I'm willing to move over to other sides if there's something which sticks out like a sore thumb, because obviously I'm more in tune with how the video game side of Kickstarter works rather than the rest of it. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.